Get ready for today's electrifying MLB recap. Buckle up because we're diving into a whirlwind of action. Two rising stars burst onto the scene with their MLB debuts, the left-handed phenom Paul Skenes and the next Tim Lincecum, Jonah Tong. Meanwhile, Trent Grisham is charging toward 40 home runs and Jazz Chisholm is inching closer to a legendary 30-30 season. Hold up though. What about that controversial called strike 3 on CJ Abrams with the bases loaded in the Nationals game? That call sparked some serious fire in the dugout. The Guardians unleashed their chaotic brand of baseball again. Wait until you see how their game ended. Former Guardian Shane Bieber made his Blue Jays home debut looking absolutely filthy against the powerhouse Brewers. And then there's Elly De La Cruz. 22 errors, you heard that right, potentially costing the Reds a playoff shot.
We've got all this and more in today's MLB recap, where we break down every game almost every single day. So let's grow the game together. Smash that like button and hit subscribe. First up, the San Francisco Giants are absolutely unstoppable right now. It's wild to say, but the Orioles dropped 8 runs and still lost by 7. Matt Chapman ignited the offense with an RBI infield single, followed by a Dom Smith sac fly. Luis Matos and others chipped in with RBI singles. Contributed is a tough word for me today. Rookie Drew Gilbert smashed his first of 2 RBI doubles, and Dom Smith wasn't satisfied with just a sac fly. He launched one into McCovey Cove. Guess who snagged it? None other than McCovey Dave Ryan Mountcastle, who racked up 4 RBIs in the game. Robbie Ray struggled, giving up 6 runs, but the Giants' 15-run explosion made that irrelevant. Luis Matos crushed his 8th homer of the season, and a flurry of RBI singles pushed the score to 14. Dom Smith matched Mountcastle with a 4 RBI night. Kobe Mayo, for the Orioles fans, launched a monster shot. Here's hoping he breaks out soon. Gilbert added his 2nd RBI double, wrapping up the 15-8 rout. The Giants have now won 6 straight and are 6 games back of the wild card. Can they keep this surge going?
Now let's talk about the next Tim Lincecum, 22-year-old Jonah Tong, who grew up idolizing Lincecum and mirrors his mechanics. Check out that leg follow-through. The Mets backed their rookie with a jaw-dropping 19 runs against the Marlins. It's nuts to think Miami scored 9 and still lost by 10. You saw Jesus Sanchez and Brandon Nimmo go deep, Sanchez with 33 homers, Nimmo with 21, and Pete Alonso with 31. The Mets were mashing like they were in a video game, fully locked in. Starling Marte added an RBI for the 8th run, and Tyrone Taylor had a massive day with a 2-run double to hit double digits. Lindor pushed it to 12, and this was still the 2nd inning. 5 runs in the first, 7 in the second. With that cushion, Tong let loose, striking out 6 with a pinpoint fastball, a nasty changeup, and a sharp curve. The Mets rotation with Tong and Nolan McLean looks lethal. Nimmo's having a monster year, 24 doubles, 22 homers, 77 RBIs, and 12 stolen bases. Tyrone Taylor added another 2-run double, and Luis Torrens capped it with a 3-run homer for the 19-9 final. For the Marlins fans, Otto Lopez and Liam Hicks got some hits, but it wasn't enough. Can the Braves help the Mets by taking down the Phillies?
Speaking of the Braves-Phillies clash, Atlanta jumped ahead early, but Brandon Marsh tied it with the single up the middle. Marcell Ozuna's sac fly put the Braves back on top, but then Nick Castellanos made a stunning play to gun down Matt Olson at the plate. Olson was lumbering like a baby brontosaurus. Ranger Suarez and Bryce Elder both dealt, with Elder allowing just 1 earned run over 7. In the 8th, Kyle Schwarber sparked a rally. Bryce Harper flipped his bat as Schwarber raced to 3rd, and Alec Boehm's sac fly, loudest I've ever heard, gave the Phillies a 2-1 lead. Zach Wheeler locked it down with his 24th save, keeping Philly 5 games ahead of the Mets. Post-game drama alert, Castellanos, despite a clutch outfield assist, vented frustration about being subbed out defensively. Look, Nick's a cool guy, but his outfield reads are, let's just say, not great. Getting upset about being replaced by defensive wizards like Brandon Marsh or Harrison Bader, that's a bold move. Back to the debuts, Paul Skenes brought more than just a killer mustache. His delivery is electric, and he racked up 2 strikeouts in his first big league inning. This guy's a showman, pure entertainment, and I'm not missing a single Skenes start from now on. Facing off against Brian Reynolds, Skenes gave up an unearned run on a Rafael Devers single, followed by a 110-mile-per-hour rocket from Roman Anthony. His dad was being interviewed during that one. Skenes finished with 8 strikeouts over 5 2/3, including a 98-mile-per-hour heater and a wicked slider. But Greg Weisert spoiled the vibes, and Tommy Pham and Andrew McCutchen delivered with RBIs, with McCutchen's 450th career double sealing a 3-0 Pirates win. That snapped the Red Sox streak, and Pittsburgh is now 17-0 when scoring 3 or more.
The Yankees, they're red hot, winning 6 straight and overtaking Boston in the standings. Trent Grisham, aka the Big Sleep, is posting video game numbers. A grand slam gave him 28 homers, including 10 in August alone. Jazz Chisholm's August was wild too. 8 homers, 11 stolen bases, and his 25th steal made him the 6th Yankee ever with a 25-25 season. Anthony Volpe and Austin Wells added RBI singles, and Carlos Rodon battled through a tough outing against his former team, insisting on staying in to get the final out. Volpe's inside-out swing for a 10-run outburst was absurd. He's having a quirky season with 19 homers, 16 steals, but a .209 average. The Yankees leapfrogged Boston, and bad teams like the White Sox are perfect slump busters. Padres fans, your prayers for a Dodgers loss were answered. Zach Allen was dealing, striking out 8 over 6 shutout innings against LA. He's got a 2.50 ERA over his last 6 starts. Blake Snell kept pace until Lourdes Gurriel Jr. broke the no-hitter and Blaze Alexander crushed a homer to end the shutout. Gabriel Moreno chased a pitch way outside and somehow made it work, and Gallen escaped a near grand slam to Will Smith. Jake Woodford secured the save, and the D-backs, winners of 3 straight, are 6.5 back. Can they make a late push? The Padres, meanwhile, got an early lead on a Luis Arraez sac fly, but Byron Buxton's Olympic-level speed tied it with an RBI fielder's choice. Buxton stole 2 bases, including his first ever steal of third, securing a 2020 season. A misplay by Jake Cronenworth let the Twins take the lead, and Trevor Larnach and Royce Lewis piled on. Tatis Jr. added a 2-run single, but the Twins pulled away, 5-3. The Padres are 2 games back in the NL West, but hold a 2-game lead for the second wildcard.
The Cubs' Dansby Swanson outscored the Rockies single-handedly, dropping 6 RBIs in a 7-5 win. He smashed his 20th and 22nd homers, Ian Happ went deep for his 17th, and Yainer Diaz ripped a triple. Rookie Matt Shaw added an RBI and a web gem. Michael Busch torched another righty for his 26th homer. The Cubs are just ahead of the Padres for the top wildcard. In a clash of baseball's best records, Shane Bieber's Blue Jays debut against Freddie Peralta's Brewers was electric. Bieber struck out the side to start, but a mistake pitch to Andrew Monasterio cost him. Freddie was untouchable, tossing 6 shutout innings with 8 strikeouts, extending his scoreless streak to 24 innings. The Jays' late rally fell short, and the Tigers now hold the second-best record in baseball. The Tigers overcame homers from Yordan Alvarez and Bobby Witt Jr., with Kerry Carpenter and Riley Green delivering clutch RBIs. Green's 101 RBIs are cartoonish, and Dylan Dingler's elite catching, 12 homers, great framing, and a cannon arm has been a game-changer. The Tigers won, staying hot. The Guardians, on a 3-game win streak, exploded for 4 early runs against Logan Allen. Jose Ramirez and Eugenio Suarez drove in runs, and Nolan Jones went deep for his 22nd homer. A wild finish saw Andres Jimenez bloop a hit, Nolan Jones score on an obstruction, and Stephen Kwan lift a game-winning sac fly. The Guardians are 4 games back of a wild card.
The Astros' Christian Javier returned with the rising fastball, tossing 6 no-hit innings against the Angels. Tyler Anderson matched him, but a bad call on Mike Trout led to an 0-for-3 day. Yordan Alvarez and Jose Altuve drove in runs, and Caleb Ort sealed a 4-out save. The Astros lead the Mariners by 3 games. The Rangers, also on a 3-game streak, got RBIs from Dylan Moore and Brent Rooker. Jonah Him's homer and Jack Leiter's 7 strikeouts led to a 5-3 win, with Sean Armstrong nabbing a 5-out save. The Rangers are 3.5 back despite Corey Seager's absence. The Reds, once close to the Mets, are slipping fast. 5 homers lit up their game against the Cardinals, with Ivan Herrera, Noelvi Marte, and Spencer Steer going deep. Elly De La Cruz's triple was electric, but his 22nd error hurt big time. Mason Wynn's flare double and Ryan Fernandez's strikeout of De La Cruz sealed a 5-5 tiebreaker for St. Louis. The Reds are 5 games back, the Cardinals 6.5. Finally, Brandon Lowe's 27th homer and Chandler Simpson's speed sparked the Rays. A brutal called strike on C.J. Abrams with bases loaded got the Nationals bench ejected. Everson Pereira's first homer as a Ray and Pete Fairbanks' 23rd save sealed a 6-4 win. The Rays, like the Cardinals, are 6.5 back. Can they make a late charge? What a day in baseball. Drop your thoughts on these games.